Hello and welcome to this workout of the week. In this workout we're going to be using the dual grip medicine ball, part of the medicine ball family from Escape Fitness. The dual grip medicine ball is a very good training tool for trunk and torso exercises, but it's also a really good tool for total body movement patterns in different planes of motion. And what we're going to do today is a movement preparation series. It's a sequence of exercises that I've used for many years with a variety of different clientele, and it tends to work really well to prepare them for movement, for general movement across the whole body. It can be used as a movement preparation sequence, but it can also be used as part of a workout. If you're working with clients who are from a very basic level, who are just starting to move and they're wanting to move in different planes of motion, or you're wanting them to get them to move in different planes of motion, then this sequence of exercises will develop that really, really well. So Andy is going to demonstrate these for us now. So the first exercise, this is all about form and technique really. We want to make sure things are done well, because what we're trying to do here is develop range of motion across joints and develop good movement patterns. So the first one is across the thoracic and across the shoulder, the glenohumeral joint. Okay, it's a straight arm overhead. So he's keeping his arms completely straight. He's raising the ball straight out and up above the head. He keeps his head very still. And what you'll find with this exercise is that you're getting a good stretch through the lats and also a little bit of extension through the thoracic. Okay, if we just turn to face the side for us so you can see a side profile of that. So the head is going to try and stay really still. What we don't want is the head to kind of travel forwards and for him to lose that position there. Okay, so we want to keep the thoracic in nice extension. A little bit of tension in the glutes can be a good thing as well to help support the lumbar spine. The next exercise is an arm circle. It's a full arm circle, keeping the head up and keeping the head completely still and the chest up. We're going to take the arms in a big full circle all the way around the body. Okay. This is going to integrate the arms with the thoracic, with the trunk, the torso. Everything's all kind of integrating together. And this is a great thing about this Medball sequence, is that everything's about in integration. Everything is done in integration. So that's the arm circle. The next one is called the hip up across. Hip up across comes from the hip height up across the body to shoulder height. Okay, just a little bit lower than that for us. Up across to shoulder height. Perfect. And what we're looking at here is focusing on thoracic rotation and also hip rotation. Then we can bring the ankle into that as well, so we can turn there and we just increase that rotation and movement through the hip. Okay. The focus on these ones to start off with is control. We want to make sure people are in control when performing these movements and they're doing them well. Not necessarily all about speed for this. Choose a medicine ball which is the correct weight, which is achievable for these exercises, because they can start to get quite challenging, especially the next one. Arms are going to be straight out in front of you, and this is called side to side. So taking the ball from side to side and rotating through the trunk and torso and the hips and also through the ankle. So what we're getting here is rotation through the thoracic, through the hip joint and through the ankle. So you'll see on the planted foot we're getting that rotation through the ankle and through the hip. Okay, trying to keep the shoulder blades back and down, trying to keep the head up and chest up. Next one, we're going to bring the legs into it now, so we're going to integrate the whole body. We're going to go into a squat position, taking the ball through the legs and then straight up over the head. Okay, off we go. As we come up above the head, we're going to make sure we tense our glutes, tighten up our glutes. We're going to take the arms straight up above the head and feel that stretch through the arms. Similar to what we did earlier on now, but now we're integrating the legs into that as well. So just a quick side profile of that one for you to have a look at the nice neutral spine and the position that he's going down to. If you want to load up the hamstrings a little bit more in the back of the body, you can actually push the medicine ball behind you if you want, like so. Make sure you extend your hips and squeeze your bum. Next one is going to be outside of the knee up across the body to shoulder height. So outside of the knee up across. So he sits back, he almost goes down into a bit of a squat, so he's sitting deep onto that knee. We'll go a little bit deeper as well. That's it. And then rotating across the body up to shoulder height. Now we're going to let the back foot turn as well. And if you want, and if somebody's got the control, stability and also movement or range of motion, you can get them to go deeper. You can get them to really squat deep and take this ball down nice and low down to here. Okay, but only when they're ready and when they've got that control and form. Obviously we do this on both sides. To start off with, we want to keep the head up, chest up, keeping that control through the lumbar. Letting that back foot then turn and pivot. Okay. And then the next exercise is called floor chest squat press. So it's a sequence of movements starting at the floor, up to the chest, going into a squat, and then a press above the head. Okay, down to the floor, up to the chest, into the squat, and press above the head. With this one, you might need to coach people a little bit because sometimes they do that and they'll actually get it slightly wrong, so they might forget one of the movements, so it's always important to talk them through. Sometimes they forget to squat like we did there. So what we're going to do is just do that again and just go through with your client. So it's floor, up to the chest, then squat down, then press above the head. Back down to the floor, up to the chest, squat down and up above your head. Okay, so just walk people through it. The final exercise is a single leg balance movement. What we're doing is taking the medicine ball in the left hand, using the handle grip on there, and we're balancing on our right foot. Okay, we're going to kick the leg back, the left leg back, and we're going to hinge at the hip. We're going to try and maintain that balance and then extending our hip, coming back to a standing position. Hinging at the hip, extending the hip. The focus here is to try and keep the hips nice and level, so we're not hitching back on one side and leaning over to one side. So the focus here is really through trunk and torso stability whilst bending at the hip joint. As we bend at the hip joint, we can allow the knee to bend slightly. So if we just have a side profile of that, you'll just see how that standing leg, we do allow the knee to bend just slightly as we're sitting back. Okay? To start off with, go really slowly so you can maintain balance and control, and make sure when you stand up you extend your hips fully. Okay, so those are the exercises you're going to do. Repetitions aren't necessarily important when it's a movement preparation sequence, so it's all about quality. So generally I get people to do between 6 to 10 repetitions of each. Okay? If you see that their movement pattern is improving, that's what we're looking for. It's a very good movement preparation sequence, but also for a lot of clientele, if they've never moved before, if they're used to fairly static or isolated exercises, this is a great way to get people into multi-planar movement and integrated movement patterns. So have a go with the dual grip medicine ball doing that movement sequence, and hopefully you'll see some great development and improvement with your movement.